Peace, everyone. My name is Germaine Boss, but most people know me as Mr. BBS. Why? Because I'm a better business solution for your needs, and I'm also your brand building specialist. Today, we're going to talk about how to build a brand from scratch, how to take it from just a thought in your mind, just a concept, to getting it out to the masses. So let's get started. Now, when it comes to building a brand, there's a lot of factors that go into play. Most people think it's just about getting your name out there, getting a bunch of people to like your stuff, and getting people to purchase. But how do you actually get people to follow you? How do you actually get people to enjoy or to take in this information or this product that you're trying to sell them? It all starts with those beginning steps, those beginning things that you set up to make sure that you're in the right place at the right time to get the right results. So today, I'm going to break down those steps that you have to do in order to get your business from beginning to the end where people actually recognize you. You see, me, I've been doing branding for over 10 years. I started off having beautiful women in strip clubs dancing for dollars to be able to be co-partners of one of the biggest urban female companies on the market, selling over 100,000 outfits and doing parties and some of the biggest parties across the country. So I'm very, very well prepped when it comes to actually learning how to get a brand out there, but it has to be authentic. So the first step that I want to tell you about is the startup, being able to evaluate yourself. What are you actually good at? What are you actually known for? What do you actually like doing with your time? You see, if you're trying to start a brand that's not authentic to yourself, a brand that is not really representing who you are as a person, it's very hard to get it out there because people don't want fake. People want real. From the time I was younger, I always had the girls coming to my house. So it was very natural for me to be around women all the time. So it only made sense for me to start a female brand to be able to promote my products and my services. So what are you actually good at? What do you like doing? What are your actual strengths and your weaknesses? What are you actually good at doing? What are you actually not good at doing? You got to know your own strengths and weaknesses, because as you're building your brand, you want to make sure that you're putting all of your chips on your strengths and you're able to hire or partner up with people that can help you with your weaknesses, because you got to be able to do both. Most people think that they can build a brand just by either focusing on their strength or learning how to conquer their weaknesses. But in building any brand, you need to be able to do both, because that's the way you're able to touch the people. There's lots of things when it comes to business that you're going to have to learn that you might not be good at or you might already be good at. And you want to be able to know these things and know exactly what it is that you're going to use to promote your brand. Also, what is your reason for building this brand? What is your reason for starting this business? You see, your reason is the core to why you do things. All of us don't just wake up in the morning and just decide to do things. We all do it for a specific reason. So you got to have your reason down pat, written in stone. What are you actually doing this for? So when them times get hard, when it seems like it's not working, that reason is what's going to be able to push you to that next level, to push you past all of the hindrances and things that block you from being able to reach those goals and dreams. So you got to make sure you have your reason set in stone and make sure you know exactly why you're doing what you're doing. Write it down. Put it on a piece of paper. Put it on your refrigerator. Put it on your wall when you wake up in the morning. You got to remind yourself of this reason every day of why you're doing this, and that's what's going to help push you to the next level. Also, what type of image are you trying to portray within yourself? What are you representing? How are people going to see you? If you're trying to do an online marketing campaign, or you're trying to do something like a YouTube blog or YouTube videos, what are people going to know you for? You see, me, everything you see always has BBS on it. Why? Because I'm always promoting our image. We make clothes. We design fashion for people. So we want everyone to always know that we're representing what it is that we're portraying. So make sure you figure out exactly what image it is that you want to portray. So these are all different things you have to do when you're evaluating yourself. You want to evaluate yourself and figure out exactly what you're good at, what are your weaknesses, what reason you doing this, and what type of image are you portraying, and what it is that you're standing for. What is your purpose? What message are you trying to get across to your clients and your customers? You got to know all these different factors before you even start your brand. Why? Because these are the keys to being able to get your brand out there to the public. If people don't know who you are, if people don't know what you're representing, then guess what? There's no reason for them to follow you. People want authentic, and that's what you're going to give them. So first thing is first is evaluate yourself. Now, the second step to building your brand is the research. Who is your competition? Who is the best in your field? Who is the worst in your field? What made the best the best? What made the worst the worst? What helped them to succeed and what helped them to fail? See, these are things that are very important. Why? Because it's a lot easier to learn off of someone else's mistakes than to have to make those mistakes for your own. And then also, who is your audience? Who are you targeting? Who is actually going to be able to receive your message? You see, once you make it authentic and once you know what it is that you represent, you now want to find people that are attracted to that authenticism and attracted to what you represent. So you want to find out exactly who your audience is and how they decide to shop. How is it that they decide to look at the content that they look at? Does your audience actually like your competition? What do they like about your competition? What don't they like about your competition? You want to know all these factors so you can make the best decisions, use some of the information to be able to help you, and also use some of the information so you don't make those same mistakes. So research is very, very important. Make sure you research the competition and make sure that you research your audience. It'll save you a lot of headaches in the long run. Now, the third one is what I like to call your bat symbol. What is your image or your word that you're going to use to represent your company? You see, when you're trying to get out to the masses, you want everyone to be able to see something and automatically recognize you. This is going to be how you represent your brand to the world. Most people identify things with images and pictures. So symbols are very, very important because when someone sees that symbol, you want them to automatically know who you are, what you are, and what you represent, what your service or your products are. So your symbol is very important. What symbol are you going to create that represents your brand that everyone can recognize? So make sure your bat symbol is right, because when it goes up in the sky, you want everyone to know that it's you. Now, the fourth one is something that's real dear to my heart, because a lot of people miss this step and they wonder why it's hard for them to actually start making money when they start to get their brand out there. And that is setting up your process to get paid. How are you actually going to get paid once people start to recognize you? You don't want to wait all the way 5-6 months in because you believe you have to get it going before you get paid. No, before you even promote your brand, you want to have a process already set up to be able to start taking funds in. So how are you going to get paid? Are you using Cash App, PayPal, Stripe, or any of these processing payment solutions? Or are you going to have your own website, your own physical store? How are you going to actually get paid? You need to make sure you set up a process to be able to take in funds. So as you start to promote your brand, you can start to get paid. So the second someone wants to give you some money, hey, guess what? You have everything set up to be able to receive that money. So make sure you build your own website. Make sure you get a brick and mortar store. Make sure you have a Cash App or PayPal. Whatever method it is that you decide you want to use for your brand, it needs to be set up before you promote your brand. That way, when the sales start rolling in, you can start rolling in that dough. There is no way to get paid if there's no process set up to get paid. So make sure you do that before you start to promote that brand. Now, the fifth way is defining your voice. You have your setup. You have exactly what it is that you're going to represent. Now it's time to get it out there to the masses. Promoting on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, doing events and parties. Anything that you can do to bring brand awareness to the people is defining your voice. I like to call it the brainwash. The more people see you, the more they'll recognize you. You want to get it to the point where people see you so much they can't help but know what it is that you do. And that's why if you see, everything you see is always BBS. Why? Because I'm subliminally brainwashing your mind to remember those 3 letters. And that's exactly what I'm talking about when I say define your voice. Get everyone to recognize you by consistently seeing your content, consistently seeing your brand, consistently seeing your logo, consistently seeing anything that helps represent what it is that you represent. The more people see you, the more they'll be attracted to what it is that you have to offer. So define your voice. Get your name out there in any way that you can. Get people to repost. Get your friends to come and buy your products and film it so that other people people can actually see them buying your products. Anything that you can do to get your name out there is what you want to do right now. Define your voice, become the brainwash to everyone, and trust me, they'll remember you. Now, number 6 is something that I see a lot of people not doing nowadays, and it's real funny to me because how do you expect someone to support you when you don't support yourself? So number 6 is invest in your own brand. You see, if you're trying to get other people to buy your products and services, but you don't support your own products and services, guess what? That's, once again, not authentic. It's fake. You're trying to convince someone to do something that you're not doing yourself. So if you're not willing to invest in your own brand, don't expect anyone else to invest in your brand. You have to use these products and services that you're talking about. You have to actually use this information that you're giving people. If you're out there telling people about owning their own businesses and building their own businesses, and you don't have a business of your own, then guess what? How are you giving people advice on something that you're not successful in yourself? So make sure that you're authentic by supporting yourself, supporting your own brand, putting your own dollars into your own brand. When you're spending your own money, not only are you showing everyone else that you support yourself and that you believe in what you're doing, but you're also showing yourself that you believe in what you're doing. And the more that you believe in what you're doing, the more you will actually do it. The more success will come to you. Success is not really about just the steps that you do. Success starts here. Success starts in the mind. It starts in the belief that you have within yourself. And as long as you believe it, you have a process set up to be able to get in them funds, and you're moving towards it, then guess what? That success will start to come to you no matter what. Anything that you truly believe has to come to you. It's just the laws of the universe. So set up your process, support yourself, and trust me, the funds will start to roll in and everyone will start to recognize that your brand is a brand that they should support. Now, number 7 is think big, but act local. Exactly what are your actual plans for your brand? How far do you want to be able to take your brand? You see, in order for you to be able to reach your goals, you have to actually know what those goals are. But while you're building those goals, you have to understand that you can't jump from point A all the way to point Z out of nowhere. You got to take them small little steps to be able to get to the big step. So even though you have big plans for your brand, take small steps. Get the people in your neighborhood or in your immediate circle to know you first, and then build outside of that. Get lots of referrals. Get people to vouch for the things that you do for them. You see, you want to build it slowly, but securely. You want to make sure that every person is happy with your product or service so that they can start to tell everyone else about it, and then you can start to build a reputation around yourself. So you want to be able to lock in all the things that are close to you and then spread out after that. So you're thinking big, you want to get your brand ahead, but you want to do those small little steps to get there. Don't try to jump and skip over the building process. People that try to skip over the building process, people that think that there's some big, quick, rich scheme, those things don't exist. There's only people that consistently put in work every day. Everybody heard that saying that, they got rich overnight. But we all know, or at least some people know, that there is no such thing as getting rich overnight. Everyone that has gotten rich overnight took them small steps until one day they popped and everybody knew who they were. But trust me, they had those small little steps that built them up to their grand finale. So make sure you think big, but you act local. You get local people involved. You do local events. You do anything you can to get as many people to support what it is that you're doing on a local level, and then you try to take it national. Then you try to get it big. Then you try to take it to the next level. It's the small steps that get you to the big steps. The last but not least is be your own brand. Represent your brand. Your brand is your baby. Your brand is you. So everything that you do will be seen as your brand. You can't think that you're going to build a brand, but you're going to have something completely different on your social media page, and you're talking about, fish on your social media page, but on your YouTube page, you're talking about how you're all about the environment and all about saving animals. Those two things don't go together. You have to be your brand. You have to represent your brand. You have to live your brand. Your brand is you. So everything that you do from this point on, always remember that people are looking to you just like they're looking to your brand. You're a representation of your brand. So this is the reason why it has to be authentic. This is the reason why it should be something that you love to do and that you're good at. Because people are going to actually look to you and see you in this facet at all times. So make sure you represent yourself properly. Make sure that your brand is authentic, and make sure that you always remember that you represent your brand. You always want to make sure that people know exactly what it is that you're trying to give them, what it is that you're trying to be, and what it is that you're trying to help them with. You're trying to create solutions for people. So make sure you represent yourself as the solution. If you like the information I'm giving you, make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you hit that bell so you can get notified of my latest videos. Anyone can teach you how to make a t-shirt. I'm here to take your brand to the next level.